The views and opinions during this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the sponsors or executive producers. This program contains conversation, discussion, debate, which a truly free society would neither fear nor suppress. However, in some socially inept areas, certain religious fanatics and ultra-sensitive and extreme political affiliates violate your First Amendment rights by attempting to control what you watch, listen to, write, and speak. We feel that this is unconstitutional and un-American. And now we present the MKULTRASOUND podcast. Live from Studio Diablo in Chicago, Illinois, this is MKULTRASOUND.
Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man.
And we are back, and happy Father's Day. If you're a father, that means you're actually, for real, a motherfucker. So, happy Motherfuckers Day. Cassie, you look different today.
I've been working on myself.
Yeah.
I'm still working.
I know. Well, Cassie, you're always working. Like, I get up for work, and you're already working out. So, Cassie hit a deer this week, so she's not here, but she should be with us next week when we have Greg Miner in the room. On the phone, we have Michael X. Christian. Michael, you there?
Yeah, hello.
You're going to debut a new song that you have with your old band, the Obscene Kiss, and then after we talk to you, we're going to talk to your guitar player, Dorian. That comes up later, but first I need to bring this up. And speaking of fathers, I didn't put this together. I got an email late on Friday evening before I went to bed from Erica Freytag. Her father, Carlton, was my right-hand man, photographer like you. Only he flew to Vegas with me. We covered AVNs. We did GlamourCon a couple times. Carlton passed away with a COVID-related illness in May, and so his daughter's just now reaching out to people. And you know, it just you never think. He was only 58, man. I mean, and he was so. As I'm talking right now, when this is edited for YouTube, you'll be seeing some photos that Carlton did. Some of us. And some shots that he did. He did a lot of photo shoots. We did shoots in hotel rooms. We'd set a studio up in a hotel room where there's porn stars, and the porn stars would come and do photo shoots. My favorite was Talia Juliet, who I got to walk down the red carpet at the Adult Video Awards pre-party at the Hard Rock Cafe in Las Vegas in 2005. But so it's just sad because he was a great guy. Always tried to keep me on the straight and narrow, which is hard because you know what it's like to work with me.
No.
I was wilder in 15 years ago.
God bless
I was
him.
a madman. You know, my girlfriend dumped me, and I just went nuts.
Yeah.
And I threw myself into a world of fucking porn and rock and roll, industrial music, and porn stars, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad recovery.
Yeah. And anyway, and then last night, my brother had started an ad for the Rock and Roll Barbecue 2020, which after July 1st, we're allowed to have gatherings of 50 people. Right now, we're only allowed to have 10 people in a room. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've been in a room with 10 people yet.
Yeah, nor have I.
And, I mean, you're like the only guy I see, really. And that's, you know, not our relationship, but but so I sent out, and so you tweaked what my brother did, the artwork. So that's July 19th. Yeah. And then you saw the gift. Don't give it away in case they're listening, but I had things made for the band Mystery Actions, which is quite nice, right?
Sweet stuff, yeah.
You know what? They're beautiful women, but I wouldn't call them sweet, man. They're really on.
I said those things are sweet.
Yeah,
I don't know about the women.
Oh, they're on the sour. I mean, they're fucking punk rock, man. They're the real deal.
Your gifts are sweet.
So, Michael, hey, man, how's things
What's going on?
You're in Iowa, Cedar Rapids, right?
Yeah.
Now,
not very exciting.
Well, you know, you almost moved back here, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You might be an Yvette is like dropped off the face of the earth now. She moved to Georgia. She called off. Everybody bailed on the show last week. Cassie bailed. Yvette bailed, Larry Goon bailed, and so there was like, I'm not going to sit here and talk to myself. But you were planning to come here and stay with me and look for an apartment in like April. Mm-hmm. If you moved back here, it'd just be hell. There's no music.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't have had a job. And then you.
No, and
You
I
and
mean,
your-
that, yeah.
You and your girlfriend would be like shacked up on my room dodging the cats.
I'd be doing the dodging, but yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, that's, I don't know. That's a weird, this has been a weird start to the decade,
Oh,
you
it's a
know,
weird time,
definitely unexpected way to start a new decade there.
Yeah, sure.
Good thing. Yeah, it is a good thing I didn't make it back there, because I would have been screwed. But I also thought, you know, I've talked to you before. I thought, you know, if I had not ever left, you know, I'd still be screwed.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
this was going to happen anyway. So
You were talking
know.
about your bandmates wanting to rehearse. Are you guys all still down there, or are you talking about meeting up to rehearse?
Good question, Max.
Well, I mean, they're all in. They're kind of scattered out over there, like they were. My bassist is. This is for Misery Machine I'm talking about, but my bassist is in Indiana, and the other guys are out by Chicago and stuff. Yeah, some of them want to do it, and I don't know. I'm not sure if some of the others do. And I really can't get a handle on. You know,
you're not going to be doing that gig for.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not getting on a bus for a total of 8 hours. You know, round trip at this time. You know, I'm really not very comfortable with that. So I don't know when I'll be able to get back out there for that. I miss it, but I mean, there's shit going on. You know, so
usually this time of the year, I'm out there in Iowa seeing Cheap Trick with Dale, and then we visit with you. And so, you know, one year we went to the drive-in, which was an adventure, but we're not
we
going
were
to
talking about that the other day.
Really?
With that kid, and he was like, had that pool like noodle, and you made him do Ricola.
Meanwhile, his parents are, the dad's in the backseat of the car getting a blowjob from his wife. And we're kind of like watching the kids. And then as the movie's going, and the guy's like, "You got a filthy fucking mouth." And I'm like, "Your wife does now too." I got a filthy mouth. You were one getting a blowjob, which is obvious. I mean, your girlfriend, Michael, Jessica saw it. It was obvious. It was like, and then there was you and me and Dale tending to the children. But I had a pickle.
Yeah, like more than one.
I love pickles. Anyway, man, we're here to talk about. We get to debut your new song, the first new song from Obscene Kiss in 8 years. So tell us about the background on the band for those people who are tuning in that don't know about your band, the Obscene Kiss.
Well, we started the band. It was Dorian and I. Probably, I think, at the end of 2011. That was the year I moved out there, and we just, you know, we really didn't have a lot of material. We didn't have material or anything exactly going into it. I had songs I'd written before, so we kind of used that as a jumping off point. So a lot of the first couple of shows were songs adapted from ones that I'd written myself. But we tried out all these different people and stuff like that at the beginning, and we just like had people that totally didn't fit, you know, with what was going on. So that was quite a process, but finally we landed on the lineup from when the show that you had us on, the Ministry Relapse release party at Horseshoe.
And you played with the great band Lockjaw. By the way, Lockjaw I learned about from a porn star. I was in Las Vegas with Julia Juliet, the porn star.
From a porn star.
And I walked her down the red carpet, as I mentioned earlier, and she said, "By the way, there's a band close to you that you're really going to like called Lockjaw in Milwaukee." And then I got a hold of them, and boom, been working with them ever since. So again, got to thank porn.
Yeah, and then, you know, from that, I kept in touch with Metavon, and we've got a distance project that we've worked on. And that's been very rewarding too. So that's pretty cool, you know, that networking thing. So I guess I have you to thank for that.
You're welcome. You and Dorian have a great dynamic together, and I'm glad that you're working together finally, because he's had some minor successes in touring bands, and you know, you've had your success with your Manson tribute, Misery Machine, but the Obscene Kiss. And here's one thing I love. What a great name. And I've also had porn stars wear your T-shirts. I had Tegan Presley wear your shirts. Yeah, she'd like disrobed right there on the floor and put on an Obscene Kiss shirt. I've got pictures of that. But the whole imagery behind the name, The Obscene Kiss. Explain that to everybody, because I love this.
Well, the name is the act of a witch kissing the devil's ass.
So there's an old wood etching that's been around for centuries, and my dad had supernatural books, and there was one picture of people lined up kissing the devil's ass and burning the Bible, and so that's where you got your name. And that piece of artwork was, I saw it when I was like 5 years old or something, and I never got it out of my mind.
Oh, I think there was another name we had initially, and this is funny because like the guy that one of the guys, or well, maybe the bassist and the drummer, I think that we had in the first rehearsals that we did, they didn't like it. They were like, we can't tell our families about the band that we're in because so we feel like we should change the name. And when we got rid of those guys, like, we actually did change the name. It was, I think originally it was Morbid Sex Act. So, which is still cool. I should put a project out with that name, because I think that's a cool name. But that's funny that those guys are just like, oh, we can't use that name. We can't tell my family about it.
So, dude, look, I can't even read my own fucking writing. Look at the board.
Me, Mr. Blind without his glasses, I'm supposed to see that.
I'm all the way over here.
Want me to walk over there and pick it up and bring it over here? I'll do that.
No, I can't even read. What did I fucking write there? Oh, last week it says. This was to talk about. So, dude, I miss you. I usually get to see you once a year. This is horrible. I'm going to adjust this volume to talk for a minute, Mike.
What's that?
Go ahead and talk. I'm going to fuck with the volume here. I'm having some problems with the board. Go ahead.
No, like it sucks that this stuff's going on, and you said usually see each other once a year. Like whether you're out here or I'm out there, I miss being out there. Obviously, moving out there is certainly not in the cards, but
no,
sucks can't even visit right now. You know
what? You really missed. You missed the riots and the looting.
Well, I mean, I do like to watch the world burn.
Right, I'm fucking with the
yes, you are fucking with the
see this channel. The main volume thing is kind of messed up, so that's why we're kind of louder than usual. And I hope it goes through okay on the SoundCloud and on YouTube. Michael, so what else can we? Now we're gonna play one of your solo songs at the end of the show called Smack. So you're getting too close to the
Smoke, crack, cocaine.
Yeah, I love this song. Hey, take that home to your family.
Right?
So I take it you wrote that song from experience?
Of course. Actually, it was, that's like what I resulted from, like my parents are smoking crack cocaine, and that's why I'm the way I am. I don't know.
Brian Warner?
That's my dad. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
So tell us about this song. We're going to play Apocalypse, and I was privileged to hear this a couple of weeks ago when Dorian sent it to me, and then you're going to debut it officially on when? July 7th?
July 4th.
Yeah,
the apocalypse comes on Independence Day.
There won't be any riots or looting that day. July 4th is racist, man.
Was it on Saturday too? So that'd be great. You have a whole weekend.
We had 44 shootings between Friday night and Saturday morning when I woke up yesterday, and as of today, so far as of like 9 this morning, there were 60 shootings. So,
including a 3-year-old,
and a 9-year-old. They're celebrating Juneteenth, man. I mean, hey.
Whatever's going down.
I'm getting the fuck out of here 4th of July weekend. Anyway, tell us about this song we'll play, and then when we come back, we'll have Dorian on. Michael, thanks always, man. I love having you on the show. I miss you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But set up the song, and we'll rock it.
Well, this song is it's been a long time coming. This is one of a number of songs that we're working on. We're working towards putting a new album out. This really shows, I think, the direction that we had left off with in 2013 when we stopped. So, I don't know. I just hope it sounds good. Hope you like it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the world premiere of the new single, the first single in 8 years from the Obscene Kiss. The song is called Apocalypse, and you're listening to the MKULTRASOUND podcast.
destroy this whole earth.
That might go down in history as the loudest fucking song we've ever played on this show. Dorian, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Are you there now?
I heard yes, but
Okay,
then
you're there now. Are you there? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. We're having like this board, one of the channels is kind of shot, so made you louder. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, great. How about you?
Well, it's a movie that I'm living in right now because it's the end of the world. It's just things are different. Hey, good song, and you shared that with me a couple of weeks ago. You want to give us some background on that?
Yes. So this is the first new Obscene Kiss song that we're releasing, and just a little bit of background on it. The band started about 8 years ago, and then we had disbanded, and then about a year or two ago, Michael, Adam, and myself had all kind of decided that we had really missed just the magic that we were creating with each other back when we were all in Chicago, and we had the band, and this was probably the first of maybe 3 or 4 tracks that I had sent off to Michael, and just wanted to see what we could try to throw together. And this one, being funny timing that we're releasing a song called Apocalypse right in the middle of all of this, right. Believe it or not, was written about 1.5 years ago. So it was just kind of a funny coincidence, but also seemed incredibly appropriate. But we tried to kind of bring the feeling of what biblical kind of style apocalypse meant into a track, and just kind of related a little bit to current events that are going on right now.
You know, Michael likes to write a lot of things that have to do with the religion.
Yeah,
because he's got a beef against Christianity, which I can identify with. And so, it's interesting because you did this song Apocalypse, and like a couple of months ago when this thing first started, Peter from Mace did their first song in like 20 years, and it was called Virus. Yeah, dude, is it me or did your band get heavier?
We got progressively heavier, okay. But not in the progressive way where we're going to bore you with 20-minute long songs. Just in the we're going to kick you in the teeth the moment that you start listening to us type of heavy.
Now, since you left Chicago, what year did you leave here?
I left Chicago, I want to say around 2012, 2013.
Wow, you weren't here that long. Because I remember one of the last times we hung out, we went to the museum. We saw the Rick Nielsen guitar exhibit in Rockford.
Yes.
Hey, do you remember when we were coming home, we stopped at Wild West Town and we met my friend?
Absolutely.
Now, I will never forget. Remember when I put it on the jukebox and it was obvious that the night before they must have been partying in there because it was at fucking 110. Like, it was loud as fuck. And I put on Running with the Devil. You just hear, and they're running around for the remote trying to turn it down. And I just look at my friends, like, I look at Jay and Dorian, I'm like, this doesn't happen in real life, man. And of all songs, Running with the Devil.
Right. Hey, man, that's up there as one of my favorite Van Halen songs next to Unchained. So
Unchained is awesome.
I approve.
That exhibit was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, you rarely get to see anything like that geared just towards the history of rock music. And I think that it's very special just because with it being in Rockford and being where Cheap Trick started, I think that it makes it even more significant and even more special. But to be quite honest, I wish that there were more museums doing exhibits like that.
Yeah, well,
whether it be for Bowie or Cheap Trick or any of those big 70s and 80s bands that were out there.
I saw the Bowie exhibit twice. Max and I went to the Stones thing, which sucked.
Yeah, well, as far as the guitar portion, though, that was very thorough. That they had a ton of all the, from all phases of their life, all their guitars.
Yeah, but my problem was they didn't address the Brian Jones thing at all, man.
Yeah, not just they nodded to it. It was not nearly addressed.
Nothing. So, but the
I'm talking about guitar specifically. They did a good job in that room.
Yeah, that was it. Well, that 3D movie at the end was nice.
That was pretty sweet.
With the Bowie thing, I don't think I'll ever be topped. And Dorian, you're a big Bowie fan.
That was beautiful.
Oh, extremely big Bowie fan.
Now, you had some minor success after you left Chicago. You went on tour with a band that gets a decent amount of press. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, after leaving Chicago, I joined the group Cyclone 9 and was with them for a couple of years, and then had ended up joining the group Stitched Apart with one of the ex-guys from Cyclone 9, as well as one of my good friends that used to play for London After Midnight. And my buddy Randy, who was in London After Midnight, and myself had both gotten the job together and auditioned at the same time. And then pretty much after a month of solid rehearsing with those guys, we were told, okay, well, you guys are going to go on your first big tour together. Yeah. So, and immediately after that, we just kept booking them. So it was great. One of the most amazing experiences in my life.
There are 10 commandments and there are 7 deadly sins, but there is only one MK Ultra Magazine. Visit us daily online at www.mkultramagazine.com for entertainment news, reviews, and interviews. mkultramagazine.com, home of Alexander's Diary of a Damned Man. That's mkultramagazine.com.
So what was touring for you like? It must have been a new world because you just went from playing clubs to big venues.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit of an eye opener, and if anything, it was learning how to do everything much differently than I had done it in the past, and on a little bit of a bigger scale, and just really kind of learning how to survive. And for me personally, I like touring just because of the amount of structure that it provides to someone's life. And for me, where I'm not very organized most of the time, and having a set schedule, like your day sheets and stuff when you're on the road, where you know what you're doing at every moment of the day, and you know that you're eating dinner at this time, you're sound checking at this time, or you're setting up or you're loading out, all of those things, just providing the structure for your day to day makes everything a lot easier. And
I get that.
It's nice.
Yeah, I'm the guy that likes to write those itineraries. And
yeah,
I am, because I live my life on a schedule. Hey, hang on. We're going to play a quick commercial. We'll be right back.
Every great day starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee from Martin Atkins and Dark Matter Coffee. Go to darkmattercoffee.com. Look for the big red logo that says get the fuck out of bed. America runs on damage, and it all starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee.
So, hey, dude, you sent a song to us, Ringworm, that you did back in like 2012. And you re-recorded. You're doing another version of what we're going to hear right now.
Yes, the original version is what you have currently, and I had taken the song right around the time that Michael and I had started talking about basically revamping and redoing the Obscene Kiss, and Ringworm was probably one of the first songs to go on the chopping block, so to speak. And we cut the song up a little bit, and it's a lot heavier than what the original was.
Okay, and so we're gonna hear like the original raw version. So the new version is gonna be even heavier. God.
The new version is going to be 20 times heavier than this.
So what can we expect from the Obscene Kiss in the months moving forward? Because I think most bands, this is a really good time to, like Rammstein, they're making a new record. This is a really good time to get back in the studio and start writing.
Yeah, just regroup.
Yeah. So what's up with
speaking of those guys, they've always been a big influence on Michael and I, as well as quite a few of the other bands out there from the 90s and early 2000s. And I think that back in 2012, 2011, we weren't really sure how to get the sound that we really wanted at that time. And then ever since I started learning how to produce and record on my own, it made those visions that I had back 8 years ago that much more lifelike. Finally knowing how to actually make good on those ideas and execute them properly with the original vision that I had in mind, but even heavier. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was telling Michael, he was unaware that one year you went to Exotica with me, and we had Tegan Presley wore an Obscene Kiss shirt. Remember that?
Yeah, Tegan Presley had done that, and I believe that we got Taylor Wayne to do the same thing too.
I don't know how it fit her.
Right?
I think that Tegan is pretty much the most attractive woman in the adult business. Seriously. Very, very. I mean, I met her, the first picture you see in Vegas, before I went with Carlton. Actually, next week's guest is going to be Greg Miner. He went to Vegas to the AVNs with me the first time, and I met Tegan when she was 18 or 19, flat chest. She didn't have her breast implants. She wasn't developed into the woman that she is now, but she's gorgeous, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Other than her and Taylor, who was your favorite to meet that weekend?
Oh, gosh. I feel like it was kind of one of those moments of kind of just being very much in shock just because it wasn't something that I had ever really experienced at that time before. And of course, after I had dated someone in the adult industry, the novelty kind of wore off a little bit. But no, for me, it was pretty awesome, to be quite honest. And it was definitely one of my favorite moments, but it's hard to say just because there were so many. You and I were in the VIP room just chilling out for a little bit, and we were hanging out with Flower Tushy. Remember? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. She's awesome. What are you doing, Max?
I have to continue your conversation.
Max takes a fucking phone call during a show. Who does that?
But if you were to ask me now who my current favorite is, it would probably be Kendra Lust. I'm unaware of her. I like the Asians. And when I first met Kalani Lee at the first AVNs I went to, I told her, like I'd written a magazine about her. I read The Prettiest Face in Porn, and the last time I saw her was like 2013. And I told her, I'm like, you're still the prettiest face in porn. You could hear Max talking. That's fucking professional. Hey man, let's play this song, and nice talking to you. I am going to start looking at trips to come out and visit you, and we're going to go see that Lewis and Clark Museum and shit. Please do.
You there? Hello.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm going to come out and visit you soon. So
yeah, let's make that a thing.
Yeah, we're gonna. Dorian and I've been talking for years about going to the Lewis and Clark Museum in on the Mississippi. So, all right, man, that'll be next time I see you. Find some good barbecue joints, and we're gonna play the Ringworm. Hey, brother, it's always great talking to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. This is Ringworm. This is the Obscene Kiss on the MK Ultrasound podcast. That's the Obscene Kiss on MK Ultrasound. Definitely the loudest band, the heaviest band I've had on this show in the year plus 3 months of its existence. Thanks, guys, man. You know, Michael, these guys, these gentlemen are really good friends of mine. Really good. We spent quality time together, you know, not just cooking and going and doing cool things. We've actually just hung out and done stuff. So they've done like Alex and Max stuff. And speaking of Alex and Max stuff, what do we do these days? What do you do, man?
Well, fortunately, I work from home, so it
too.
really hasn't changed a lot. I'm at home a lot and working. But as far as, I mean, you've been over once. We're safely hanging out in the backyard with space and
Dude, that was great.
Out and,
that was great.
Yeah, my local joint just opened up recently, and
Bulldog.
Yeah, outside patio space. So they're doing really good on the cleaning things, and so I'm getting out, but just trying to stay safe. I got family to deal with, and I don't want to put myself in situations where it's going to like any kind of contagion could happen.
Yeah.
And we've been good with that.
I've been biking, because I gained so much weight over this pandemic. I bike to Evanston, which is 26, and the way I do it, like 30 miles round trip.
The COVID 15. It's like the freshman 15.
Hang on, I'm fucking with this thing again. Right there. There you go. Okay, right there. That's good. I'm just going to hang back from the mic a little bit. So I've been biking to lose this weight, and I figure if I could do 30 miles a day, I should, by July 4th, when I see my friends down in Indianapolis, I should be okay. But I went Friday, and I saw my old friend Alanita, and she used to write for Film Threat magazine, and she's going to try out. I'm going to have her on. I think she'd be a great co-host, because right now I'm like, Yvette was the greatest I could have ever had, but just because of everything that's happening, she's not here. And she was like custom made for this show. She's like my rock and roll sister. So Ellen is a brilliant and she's a Jewish girl who's well versed in writing, and we were talking. I'm like, why don't you try out for the fucking show? You'd be great. So we have some stories in common, and that'll be good. And so, but yeah, I met her for Kung Fu Tea in Evanston on Friday. We had bubble tea, and then I went the last 2 times I went to Cold Stone, and I love Cold Stone, but I've had it 5 times in my life. First time was at Flagstaff, Arizona. Second time, 2 times we're in Boys Town, and then 3 times now. So I guess 6 times in Evanston. It's better when you only have it like once a year.
See, I've been once, period, and it was great.
It's great, but yeah, this thing is like you want it again. Like now, I could care less. I'd rather go have frozen yogurt.
Like at a neighborhood joint, so that does.
Hey man, I want to play this.
Want a killer look without breaking your wallet? Try Killer Beards. All beard products are made with natural ingredients to stop beard dandruff and itching before it starts, while giving you a smooth, silky beard that smells amazing. Choose from 5 amazing scents that will have everyone saying, "Wow, that's a killer beard, and it sure does smell good." Also available are shampoo and bars of rough cut soap. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy at etsy.com/shop/killer beards. That's Killer Beards. Use the discount code MKUltra20 for 20% off. That's MKUltra20.
And happy Father's Day to Nicholas, the founder of Killer Beards. He's a great dad. He's got 3 little ones in West Virginia. What? Don't give me that look. So yeah, I mean, that's life. I mean, this last week has just been, the mayors.
I understand the most important stuff is in North Virginia. Got East and West Virginia. The most important stuff is in North Virginia, I think, right?
Okay.
I'm just thinking it through here.
What is that, Deep Throat? Okay, this is definitely not a family-friendly show. Anyway, I'm going to deal with these technical, the sound things for the next show. I'm going to have the great Greg Miner on. Greg is an old friend of mine. I met him when he was in the Electric Hellfire Club. He played on their second album, my favorite album, Kiss the Goat. I met him on that tour. I moved to Chicago. We've been fucking great friends ever since. He's done several projects afterwards. His namesake is Sunwheel Psychedelic, and it's a great album of hard rock music. Very, very good hard rock. He's a studio guy. It's what he went to college for, was studio. So I'm looking forward to just hanging out with him. And oh god damn this thing, fuck. Maybe he can help me with this. Yeah. Hey man. Max, thank you for coming. I'm going to play this new song from Michael X. Christian. This is called Smack Crocaine, and you're hearing it for the first time on the MK Ultrasound podcast.
And when I took the miracle cocaine, I got saved. Amen. And when I took the miracle cocaine,
That's a fucking jam, isn't it? That's Michael X. Christian, my good friend, doing Smoke Crack Cocaine. Speaking of, I was looking at our text messages on the way here, and I'm like, I was going to Walgreens. I'm saying, I'm heading home. Oh,
Yes, you did.
and then you write, you were on LSD. If people from Chicago, if they saw that you wrote that you're on LSD,
I'm
they
on
think you're
LSD.
tripping.
Oh yeah,
Lakeshore
I am
Drive.
tripping all the time, but yeah, Lakeshore Drive.
Hey man, those of you tuned in and listened and are watching, thank you very much. Cassie, I love you. I'm going to send you a lot to stitch together for the
Cassie.
show. It's an important, yeah, man. Max misses you.
Cassie.
I've added Amanda to the Rock and Roll Barbecue, and Max, I hope that you will bless us for the first time in a decade with your jalapeno puree wings.
I gotta make that again.
I met you at a barbecue,
it's
and
been
you made
too
that.
long.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a show, man. We'll be back next week with Greg Miner from Sunwheel Psychedelic. Right. This is Alexander and Max Bravo signing off. You've been listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast.
From the north end of the Mississippi River in Chicago, Illinois, to the south end in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you've been listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast with your host, Alexander, with our special videographer, Cassandra Belazic, and I'm your executive producer, Too Dark. Tune in for the next episode to see exactly what's going to happen next. You've been listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast.